through is envy, so they dying now. She knew that was my brother, I can't figure why she crying now. Savage got me popping perkies, now I'm zoning out. We got the city, every show with us look like it's rolling out. Niggas don't be chasing, pay attention.
In the late hours of January 12, 2022, in a chilly evening in Chicago, a young mother and famous businesswoman from Chicago sat in her car, pregnant with her second child, just outside her home. It was supposed to be a quiet moment in preparation for celebrating her pregnancy. Yet, within moments, surveillance footage would capture her life being violently taken by masked men who would ambush and kill her in her car. What could possibly lead someone to murder a pregnant woman, especially when she had no known enemies? This is not the story of a woman with a troubled past or a history of conflict. It's the story of a woman full of love, joy, and potential whose life was taken without warning or reason. This is the tragic and senseless murder of Derkica Patrick, a young, pregnant woman whose only crime was simply existing in her car, minding her own business. Who could have wanted Derkica Patrick dead, and what was the real motive behind this horrific act? But before we uncover the chilling evidence that points to her killer, let's rewind to the start of this tragic story.
I'm driving. Go ahead. That's the thing. I'm gonna just keep going. I don't care.
Derkica, or Dara Patrick, at just 29 years old, was a beloved figure in her community. Born in Chicago, Illinois, she was known for her vibrant personality and her deep love for her family. Dara was the youngest of 6 children, with 4 older sisters and 1 younger brother. Growing up in a close family, she learned early on the importance of love, respect, and unity. Her family meant everything to her, and they shared countless memories of laughter and support throughout her life. Little wonder it came as such a shock to everyone who knew her to even imagine why anyone would want to hurt her. From a young age, Dara was known for her positive spirit and an undeniable zest for life. Friends and family described her as always upbeat, always ready to lend a helping hand, and someone who could bring joy to any room. In a city like Chicago, where crime often casts a long shadow, Dara was a beacon of light, someone who held her community together with kindness and a smile. Dara graduated from high school in the city and had always been passionate about helping others. She found her calling as a hairstylist, working tirelessly to perfect her craft. Known for her impeccable skill and dedication to her clients, Dara was a popular and respected professional in the area. But her clients loved her not just for her talent, it was also for the way she made them feel seen, heard, and appreciated.
Stop playing with my cousin. Period.
Her work went beyond styling hair. It was a form of connection where she built relationships with each person she met. Her social media presence reflected the same warmth and positivity. She posted regularly, sharing snippets of her life, from work to fun moments with family. During one of her birthdays, her family and friends would celebrate her. But most of all, Dara had a stronger love for her children. Her love for her 9-year-old daughter and the unborn child she was expecting.
Oh, you're so pretty. So pretty.
Dara was excited about becoming a mother again, particularly because she was expecting a baby boy whom she had already named Baby J. Tragically, she would not live to see the birth of Baby J. The joy of expecting a child brought a newfound energy to her life, and her family noted that she was more joyful than ever. Dara's life was defined by her ambition, love, and close relationships. She had always been a loving and supportive partner to her boyfriend, who she had been with for several years. Their connection was one of those rare, unshakable bonds, and Dara's family could see how happy he made her. She wanted nothing more than to build a future with him and their growing family. But Dara's story would be tragically cut short. On the evening of January 12, 2022, Dara Patrick was preparing to attend her cousin's birthday celebration. It was supposed to be an evening of joy, filled with family, friends, and the typical laughter that defined her life. Little did she know it would be the last time she would see her loved ones. That night, Dara Patrick was sitting in her car, parked just outside her home on South Vincennes Avenue in Chicago. She was not alone. Her 18-year-old niece was with her. The two of them were preparing for the celebration inside when tragedy struck. Around 7:30 p.m., the 18-year-old ran inside the house to grab the birthday cake when two men approached Dara's car. In a quick, cold-blooded act of violence, they began firing into the vehicle, hitting Dara multiple times. The gunmen didn't hesitate. They fired with intent, emptying their guns into the car and then fled the scene without remorse. Dara's niece heard the gunshots and immediately rushed outside. What she found was a nightmare. She found her aunt, Dara, heavily pregnant, slumped over the wheel, her life drained out in a pool of blood. Dara was rushed to the University of Chicago Medical Center, but despite the valiant efforts of medical staff, she was pronounced dead on arrival. Her unborn child, Baby J, did not survive either. The crime was shocking and senseless.
Don't think for one moment that we're going to let you get away with this. We are going to pursue you and bring you to justice.
Superintendent David Brown once again vowing to crack down on crime as two 14-year-old boys and a pregnant woman become the latest victims of deadly gun violence in Chicago. Search is on for two men who shot and killed a pregnant woman sitting inside of a parked car on the south side.
Police say they have video of that attack, and WGN's Patrick Elwood live on the south side with more details tonight. Patrick.
Good evening to you both. Police are not releasing that video at this time. More on that in a moment. But a 29-year-old woman is dead. She was pregnant at the time. This happened about 7 o'clock last night. There is a $15,000 reward being offered in connection to this case. But at this point, police don't even know the motive. Derkica Patrick was shot dead as she sat in a parked car at 74th and Vincennes. The 29-year-old hairstylist was a fun-loving person who always had a smile on her face, according to her mother, Christine Blanton, who tells the Tribune. Shot spotter technology alerted police to gunshots in that area, and they say video footage shows two men approaching her car.
Looking back through some video, we observe a vehicle pull up, two males exit the car, walk up to the victim's vehicle, draw handguns and fire into the vehicle, striking her. Patrick was the mother of a 9-year-old girl and was pregnant at the time of her death. Police are asking for help from the community, but they are not releasing that video at this time. We need them identified. We haven't pushed out any videos yet of those suspects, but we definitely need some help from the community.
So again, no video being released by police tonight, but that may change tomorrow. Anonymous tips, they say, are always welcome.
Dara, a woman known for her kindness and warmth, had been taken from her family, her daughter, and her community. The motive for the shooting was unclear. Was it a targeted attack or simply another case of random violence in a city plagued by gun crime? What made the tragedy even more heartbreaking was that Dara had no known enemies, and she had always been a peaceful, hard-working mother who was focused on her family and career. She had been in no physical altercation before the incident and had no reason to believe that she was in any danger when she sat in her car. The family was left to piece together what happened. The shocking nature of the crime reverberated throughout the city, leaving people asking how someone so innocent could have been taken so violently. The only clue left behind were the bullets that riddled her car and the two gunmen who walked away without a care in the world. In the wake of Dara's tragic death, Chicago's police force wasted no time in launching an investigation to uncover the truth behind the murder. The brutal nature of the crime, the victim's innocence, and the mystery surrounding the attackers made the case one of high priority. Detectives were determined to find the individuals responsible for this heinous act and bring them to justice. The first critical piece of evidence came from a surveillance video. The police reviewed footage from security cameras around the Parkview Towers where Dara had been parked. The video showed a dark-colored vehicle pulling up beside Dara's car. Two men were seen getting out of the vehicle, approaching Dara's car and opening fire without hesitation. The chilling footage captured the gunmen, but it was not enough to identify them immediately. What stood out to investigators was the calculated nature of the shooting. It was clear that the attackers were not random bystanders, but were instead targeting Dara. The gunmen walked up to her car with the sole purpose of ending her life. The detectives noted that the shooting happened so quickly without any apparent warning, which made the entire scenario more disturbing. There was no argument or confrontation that led up to the attack. Dara's family, reeling from the shock of her murder, continued to provide crucial support during the investigation. Dara's mother, particularly devastated, was vocal in pleading for justice.
A plea for justice today from the family of a pregnant woman who was shot and killed this week in Chicago. There is now a $15,000 reward for information about Derkica Patrick's murder.
Stephanie Wade live right now with that plea from her family. Stephanie?
Good evening. It was a massive turnout today. The community coming together and releasing balloons in honor of 29-year-old Derkica Patrick, who was shot and killed Wednesday evening on Chicago's South Side, just sitting in her car outside of her home.
It hurts so bad, I want my baby.
A tearful plea tonight from Derkica Patrick's mother to find who killed her daughter.
You took a beautiful young lady out this world. You took her from her family. I can't get my baby back. I don't want my baby. Y'all took my baby from me. God gave her to me for 29 years. And you just ended my baby's life like that. That's not right.
A vibrant young woman her godmother describes and beloved hairstylist on Chicago's South Side, Patrick was 4 months pregnant with her second child when police say two gunmen got out of their car Wednesday evening and opened fire in the 7400 block of South Vincennes Avenue.
Her mother is hurting that she can't speak. I'm hurting, but I hurt for her, her family, my family, her baby. She has a 9-year-old daughter.
Community activist Early Walker joining Patrick's family today in their combined quest to find who killed the pregnant mom. Walker helping pay for Patrick's funeral expenses.
This mom deserves answers. This family deserves answers. This community deserves answers. You literally took a mom, a daughter, away.
She held firm in the belief that her daughter had been taken unjustly and that whoever did this needed to pay. As detectives worked to gather more evidence, they also began to analyze the gunman's actions. The video footage, while disturbing, became an essential tool. It was clear that the perpetrators were prepared. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment crime. They had arrived in a vehicle and executed the murder with a chilling sense of intent. For the police, it was a case of trying to understand what could have driven these men to commit such a violent act. The police sought additional evidence by canvassing the area for any witnesses who might have seen something unusual or heard gunshots. They also combed through nearby security camera footage for more clues about the gunman's identity. Dara's family, devastated by the loss, wanted answers, but little did they know finding justice for Dara would be a complicated and painful journey. A major obstacle in the investigation was the lack of any apparent motive. Dara had lived a relatively peaceful life. She was a popular hairdresser and had many friends in the community, but there had been no prior reports of her being involved in any conflicts that would explain her murder. She was pregnant with her second child, and according to her family, she was in good spirits, excited about the arrival of her baby boy. This made the situation even more perplexing. Why would anyone want to kill Dara? What had driven two men to target her so violently? Investigators knew they needed to find answers quickly as the case was drawing increasing public attention. In the weeks following Dara's death, the police increased their efforts to find the gunman. They released an appeal for information from the public, urging anyone who might have seen something or had knowledge of the crime to come forward. The reward for information was raised to $155,000, reflecting the urgency of the situation. Despite these efforts, no one came forward with critical information. The police could not yet identify the two suspects, and their search for the perpetrators became more frustrating. There was a growing sense of injustice in the air, as the family and friends of Dara were left without answers, while the killers remained free. The lack of progress in the investigation only added to the heartbreak of Dara's family. Dara's family continued to publicly plead for justice, urging the community to help bring the killers to trial. They made emotional appeals on television and through social media, hoping that someone somewhere had information that could lead to the arrest of the men responsible for their loved one's death. As the investigation continued, the case began to highlight larger issues in the city of Chicago. The city, plagued with violence, had seen an increase in gun-related crimes, and Dara's murder was a stark reminder of the dangers that residents faced daily. Many people in the community who knew Dara expressed shock and disbelief, as she had been an integral part of their lives. Community leaders, activists, and residents alike came together in the aftermath of Dara's death, hosting vigils and raising awareness about the ongoing problem of gun violence in the city. The tragedy also sparked discussions about the prevalence of violence against pregnant women, with Dara's murder standing out as a particularly brutal and senseless act. Even though the authorities had clear video evidence of the crime, the lack of progress in identifying and capturing the perpetrators left many feeling helpless and frustrated. As time went on, the case seemed to stall. The community's hope that someone would come forward with information began to fade. The police continued to work tirelessly, following up on tips and trying to identify the suspects, but the investigation remained at a standstill. This uncertainty was unbearable for Dara's family, who continued to live with the painful reality of her murder. Her mother, while still hopeful, couldn't help but express her frustration. The lack of closure was taking a heavy toll on Dara's loved ones. They wanted answers, and they wanted to see the killers brought to trial. But without more information or a break in the case, the pain of losing Dira only intensified.
I'll never be okay. They took my sister from me.
Derkica Patrick's family is inseparable. The youngest of 5 girls with just one little brother, the 5 living siblings are realizing somehow they're going to have to live without Derkica.
I just want my sister back.
Wednesday night, the 29-year-old mother, 4 months pregnant with her second child, was in her car in front of her house at 74th and Vincennes on the city's south side. Her cousin Devante says she was supposed to be headed to his birthday celebration.
She was all the way to me, but she never made it.
Dira's murder was not just a tragic loss for her family, but also for her community. She was loved by so many and had a bright future ahead of her.
Happy birthday, Jamira. Have fun.
She had plans to become a nurse and was passionate about making a difference in the lives of others. Now her family had to cope with the painful reality that her dreams were cut short and her life was taken by someone who should never have been free. As time went on, the media kept Dira's story in the public eye. News outlets continued to report on the case, covering the police investigation and the ongoing search for the 2 gunmen. The more the public heard about Dira's life, her family, and the heart-wrenching nature of her death, the more people began to demand answers. It became clear that this case wasn't just about one person's death. It represented a larger issue, the escalating violence in Chicago. Dira's murder was one of many that year, and it served as a stark reminder of how deeply entrenched gun violence was in certain neighborhoods. The people of Chicago were becoming increasingly frustrated with the lack of accountability, and many questioned why the police couldn't make arrests in such a high-profile case. In a city already battling a reputation for violent crime, Dira's death was another stark example of the challenges the police faced in solving crimes, particularly those involving gun violence. Yet even with this pressure, the investigation seemed to be at a standstill.
Good afternoon. So I think we really want to first extend our condolences to the family. This is just an absolute tragedy. We cannot continue the cycle of violence. And when we talk about what the community can do, I think it's really important for us to know that there's a way that people can give information regarding these particular crimes, and more importantly, really empower ourselves in order to do something about it. So when you're sitting at home saying, what can we do? If you know something, say something. We have a tip line up at 1-833-408-0069. There is rewards that are offered up to $15,000 for any homicide. And one of the key components to this crime and so many other is the prevalence of guns. And we have to find ways to get guns off of our street. We also offer $5,000 up for anybody who's trafficking guns. If you know that, if you have that information, you can call that same phone number. But we can't keep coming out here. So when you're sitting at home today and you says, what are we going to do? We're going to say something. There's a number that you can call. You can text to tip us. You can just go to any one of the sites. If you don't feel comfortable calling the police department, feel free to call one of our ministers, one of our partners. Get us the information, but we have to end this cycle of violence. And again, the deepest condolences to the family, her friends, and that truly loved her. She was truly loved. I can tell you, I've received a number of phone calls of people reaching out, wanting to do the right thing, and we're hoping that we can support the family any way we can. Thank you.
The impact on Dira's family was devastating. Her mother and family members continued to live with the loss, unable to move forward until they knew who had taken Dira from them and why. Dira's young daughter was also left without her mother, and it was heartbreaking to think of the impact this would have on her growing up. Throughout the ongoing search, the family held on to hope that they would eventually get the answers they so desperately needed. They remained committed to seeking justice for Dira and ensuring that her killers didn't escape punishment. As the investigation dragged on, Dira's family and the community continued to make impassioned pleas for anyone with information to come forward. They emphasized that someone, somewhere, knows something, and that sharing that information could bring justice for Dira and her family. But despite these emotional appeals, the police still faced a wall of silence. With no one willing to step forward and provide the crucial information needed, the case remained open but unsolved. Every day without an arrest made the loss feel even more profound. In the years that followed, Dira's family worked tirelessly to honor her memory. They set up a foundation in her name to help raise awareness about domestic violence and gun violence. Dira's tragic death had highlighted the dangers of living in a society where violence is all too common, and her family wanted to ensure that her story would inspire change. Dira's daughter, now growing up without her mother, continued to be surrounded by the love and support of her family. Though she would never truly understand why her mother was taken from her, she was raised with the knowledge that her mother was a kind, loving, and strong woman who had dreams of helping others. Dira's legacy lived on through her daughter and through the efforts of her family to create a better world in her honor. The case of Dira Patrick's murder, while a tragedy, also served as a powerful reminder of the importance of justice, the need for accountability, and the power of community in the face of unimaginable loss. My condolences to Dira's family and friends. I hope her killers are caught and justice is served in due time. What do you think about it? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this story intriguing, please like, share, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this.